ready. The crib was built, standing as a symbol of hope and new beginnings. A mobile of whimsical felt animals danced above it, waiting to greet a new life with their gentle, soothing motions. Sarah and Ben had meticulously planned and saved for this moment, their joy amplified by each tiny garment folded in the dresser drawer. Every little onesie and pair of socks was a testament to their dreams and aspirations for their soon-to-arrive baby. Sarah, 8 months pregnant, was just weeks away from welcoming their first child when the email arrived. It was a moment that should have been filled with excitement and anticipation, but instead, it brought a wave of anxiety. It was a cold, impersonal message informing her of impending layoffs at the tech company she had dedicated the past 5 years of her life to. The words on the screen blurred as she tried to process the shock. The company that proudly boasted about its family-first culture was about to show her just how little families factored into their bottom line. The irony was bitter, and the timing couldn't have been worse. Sarah's story is not unique. It's a narrative that echoes in countless homes across the nation. Across the country, expectant and new parents are facing a harsh reality: the chasm between corporate rhetoric about supporting working families and the lived experiences of those families. The promises of support often fall short when they are needed the most. While companies tout generous parental leave policies and flexible work arrangements, the reality for many is far less rosy. The gap between what is promised and what is delivered leaves families struggling to balance their professional and personal lives. In today's competitive job market, companies are increasingly aware of the need to attract and retain top talent. One of the most effective ways to do this is by appealing to the desires of working parents who make up a significant portion of the workforce. As a result, we've seen a surge in companies promoting family-friendly policies. These policies often include generous parental leave, flexible work schedules, on-site childcare, and even subsidies for childcare costs. Companies highlight these benefits in their recruiting materials, on their websites, and in media interviews. They understand that these perks are attractive to prospective employees. They are marketed as proof of a company culture that values its employees and their families. However, as we delve deeper, we uncover a troubling disconnect between these promises and the lived experiences of many working parents. The headlines are jarring. Laid off just weeks after maternity leave, company fires pregnant employee, cites restructuring, new dad let go after requesting flexible work schedule. These aren't isolated incidents, but rather indicative of a larger trend that exposes the fragility of corporate promises. Take, for instance, the case of Jessica, a marketing manager who was laid off from her job at a Fortune 500 company just 3 months after returning from maternity leave. Jessica, like many new mothers, had poured her heart and soul into her career. She had spent countless late nights and early mornings ensuring that her projects were flawless. She had excelled in her role, consistently exceeding expectations. Her colleagues admired her dedication, and her managers often praised her work ethic. Yet her commitment and dedication seemed to count for little when the company decided to downsize. The news came as a shock, leaving her to question the value of her hard work. Jessica's story, and countless others like it, reveals a painful truth. Even in companies that outwardly champion family-friendly policies, the reality for working parents, especially mothers, can be very different. The promises of support and flexibility often crumble under the weight of corporate restructuring and economic pressures. They are often the first to be let go during layoffs, passed over for promotions, or subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, pushed out of their roles. The emotional and financial toll on these families is immense. As we navigate these challenging times, it's crucial to hold companies accountable and advocate for genuine support for working parents. Only then can we hope to create a more equitable and supportive work environment for all. So, why the disconnect between corporate rhetoric and reality? Several factors contribute to this unfortunate situation. One key issue is the persistent bias against working parents, particularly mothers. Despite significant progress in recent years, outdated stereotypes persist. Mothers are often perceived as less committed to their careers once they have children. This perception can lead to them being overlooked for challenging assignments, passed over for promotions, and ultimately deemed expendable when layoffs occur. Another contributing factor is the perceived burden that parents, especially mothers, are seen to represent. companies may be hesitant to invest in employees who they believe will require more flexibility or time off due to family obligations. This short-sighted view ignores the immense value that working parents bring to the table. They are often highly organized, efficient, and adept at multitasking, skills honed through the demands of parenthood. The impact on families like Sarah's and Jessica's is devastating. The sudden loss of a job can send shockwaves through a household, disrupting the delicate balance of daily life. The financial strain of job loss is compounded by the emotional toll of navigating this challenging time without the security of employment. The uncertainty of the future looms large, creating a constant state of anxiety. New parents are thrust into a whirlwind of uncertainty, grappling with the dual pressures of caring for a newborn and finding new employment. Fear, anxiety, and resentment become daily companions, overshadowing what should be a joyous time. The joy of welcoming a new child is overshadowed by the stress of job hunting, mounting bills, and the overwhelming responsibilities that come with parenthood. The crushing weight of broken promises adds to the emotional burden, making it hard to stay hopeful. "It felt like a betrayal," says Jessica, reflecting on her experience. "I had trusted them, and they let me down when I needed them the most. I had given so much to that company, investing years of hard work and dedication, and the moment I needed their support, they were nowhere to be found. They turned their backs on me, leaving me to fend for myself in a time of crisis." Her words resonate with countless parents who have found themselves in similar situations, feeling abandoned and unsupported. The emotional fallout can be long-lasting, affecting not just the individual, but the entire family unit. It impacts their sense of self-worth, their relationships, and their ability to move forward. The overall well-being of the family suffers, creating a ripple effect that can last for years. Bridging the gap. Real support for working parents. Companies must move beyond lip service and implement policies that genuinely support working parents. This includes providing adequate paid parental leave for both mothers and fathers, ensuring access to affordable, high-quality childcare, and offering truly flexible work arrangements that allow parents to balance their work and family responsibilities. But real change requires more than just policies on paper. It demands a cultural shift that values and respects the contributions of working parents. Creating a truly family-friendly workplace requires a multi-pronged approach. Challenge unconscious bias by implementing training programs that address unconscious bias against working parents. Promote transparency and accountability by regularly reviewing promotion and compensation practices to ensure fairness and equity. Foster a culture of support by creating employee resource groups for working parents, offering a platform for